And this time I actually had the lawyer in my ear saying 9 times out of 10, they don't want to approve this because the judges believe that all epilepsy should be able to be controlled with medication. And that people just haven't found the right one. And I am one of the ones that cannot be controlled with medication. Hi there, and welcome to part 2 of appealing my Social Security disability insurance claims. And if you haven't seen part 1, I'll be making a playlist on my YouTube channel. I'm Andrea, I have epilepsy, and this is me talking about what that whole process has been like. And I go deeper into discussion about what they look like, the requirements and all that they need to, what is the word I'm looking for? They need to approve you being on disability with epilepsy. So I'm not going to go too in depth on that for this video, but it is apparently extremely difficult to get approved with epilepsy specifically, and they weren't lying. So I'm going to take you back, I guess just to recap real quick. When I first tried to get disability insurance through Social Security with my epilepsy, I was denied. I did not have a lawyer for that one. I figured I had my epileptologist, my neurologist, and my PCP all saying I could not work. I was not able to. Social Security had me see one of their psychiatrists, and that psychiatrist said I was not able to work. They did not recommend it. I had a 5-day hospital stay EEG monitoring where I had 3 tonic-clonic seizures. That backed me up that I could not work. All these positive things saying I could not work, and they still denied me. So it is very difficult. Okay, I will leave it off there. Starting from there, I got my notice that I was denied on November 17th, 2022. That is where we're picking up off from there. So naturally, they said, if you would like to appeal, I said, yes, I do. So I got a letter from them on January 11th, 2023, and they said, on January 10th, we talked to you and completed your request for reconsideration. What you need to do, review your request. If you agree with all the statements, if you disagree, let us know. So I was working with my long-term disability through my work. Luckily, I had signed up for that with my work, and I was still getting paid through that. And they had offered me a lawyer for free that they were going to pay for to help me out with that. I said, no, I have a surefire bet with all that evidence, and still didn't win. So they're like, we'll pay for the lawyer. Only thing is they're going to get 20% of whatever you win. But you have a 50% higher chance of getting approved if you use our lawyer. And I was like, okay, that's all you had to say. Absolutely. Take the lawyer this time. So this time I had the lawyer help me out. The next thing I got was January 11th, 2023. Social Security sent me a letter saying, we received notice that you appointed this man as your lawyer. Is that correct? I sent back, yes, that is correct. I will be using a lawyer. So they sent that January 11th of 2023. I did not hear back from them until November 2nd of 2023. Now, in that time, I had talked to the lawyer, and he's like, this is going to be a very slow process. Mind you, COVID was still kind of hanging around. It was, near the end of it, but they were backlogged. So November 2nd, they said to me, we are the office that makes disability decisions. We're writing about your disability claim because we need more information, naturally. Complete these forms. We realize some of the questions may not seem relevant to the case, but please answer all the questions to the best of your ability. And they CC'd my lawyer because, he'd need all these. So the form they needed me to fill out was called the function report /adult. How to complete the form, it is important that you tell us about all your activities and abilities. It was basically saying, how much can you function as an adult? And I didn't obviously leave the form on here. I don't know exactly what it was because it was so long ago. General tips, your claim can be denied if you do not complete or return these forms. I guess you can look it up if you want to see exactly what it is. But I sent that in. My lawyer said, just send me a copy of that also so I can see what you did. And I sent that off in November of 2023. Next time I heard from them was January 16th of 2024. They were going to have me talk to one of their psychiatrists again. This was a different one. They said it was going to be a telehealth. I was going to talk to her on the phone. I said, okay, naturally, talk to her. And February 9th, I got a letter from them. What was this saying? So this is all, they were talking to me through my lawyer. They always had to talk to him first. So it was all CCing him, by the book. April 24th, 2024, I had to have my meeting with that psychiatrist. Type of appointment, mental status exam. We are working with your claim for disability benefits. Let's see. And I guess they don't say exactly how mentally it works. I don't know. Anyway, I talked with her. It was a very different experience than talking the first time they had me talk to the psychiatrist, or the first one. She was very by the book, not personable at all. Not to say she was bad, she was just very professional. Where with the first one, it was the husband and wife team. They were very amiable, talking with me, joking around, very willing to listen, and get to know me on a personal level, really understand how it was affecting my day-to-day life and how it would impact me working. Whereas this lady, just point, can you, like, she just wanted to get through the day. It was her, she wanted her day to be over with. So, and the other psychiatrist, I was like, well, how do you think it's going to go? They're like, we're absolutely going to tell him you can't work. You know, this isn't going to work. And at the end of this one, I was like, well, how do you think it's going to go? She's like, I can't discuss that with you. Oh, okay. So I don't know how that went. So that was April 24th, 2024. And then I got my final decision from them on my second appeal on June 18th, 2024. And it said, upon receipt of your request for reconsideration, we had your claim independently reviewed by a physician and disability examiner in the state agency. The evidence in your case has been thoroughly evaluated. This includes medical evidence and additional information we received since the original decision. We find that the previous determination was proper under the law. Attached with an explanation. So that means they agreed that it should be denied. And then at the very end, they say we use the following medical and non-medical reports to decide your claim in addition to those listed on our previous notice. Cindy Taylor, which was the psychiatrist, Baylor St. Luke's Medical Center, provided on March 2024, Alicia Goldman, which is my epileptologist, St. Luke's Medical Center, Citizens Medical Center, my PCP, again, St. Luke's, again, Houston Methodist Research Center. And then the reports we received had enough information to evaluate your condition. You said you were unable to work as of 8/18/2020 because of epilepsy. Changed condition, symptoms, listed all my symptoms. Your condition results in some limitations in your ability to perform work-related activities. We've determined that your condition is not severe enough to keep you from working. We consider the medical and other information, your age, condition, and work experience in determining how your condition affects your ability to work. We do not have sufficient vocational information to determine whether you can perform any of your past relevant work. However, based on the evidence in file, we've determined you can adjust to other work. If your condition gets worse, keeps you from working, please contact Social Security office about filing another application. Okay, so basically, you know, we had all these people saying that she can't work. They didn't want to work. And this time I actually had the lawyer in my ear saying 9 times out of 10, they don't want to approve this because the judges believe that all epilepsy should be able to be controlled with medication. And that people just haven't found the right one. And I'm one of the ones that cannot be controlled with medication. I've tried 10 different epilepsy medications. 7 of them I've had an allergic reaction to or bad reaction to. And my epileptologist said, we're at the end of the road. We've tried all of them. And surgery is not an option for me. So now we're just trying to maintain at this point. So it's not fair and it's not easy. Yeah. So I was like, okay, we got to go to the next step, which is trial. You have to go to a hearing with a lawyer is step 3 if you appeal that. So that is what we did next, and that will be part 3. So thank you for hearing this out. Let me know in the comments if y'all ever had to go through this process and what it was like for you. I guess that's all I have to say. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you for the next one. Thanks. Bye.